Measures 66 and 67, important decisions for Oregon's voters. I'm Dave Adams. This morning at 7:30, Deschutes County District Attorney Mike Dugan and State Senator Chris Telfer will debate the issue at the Bend Golf and Country Club. Telfer will take the position of being opposed to the measures. Dugan will argue for their passage. First, Mike Dugan.
Well, there's a number of different reasons. Most important reason is public safety. That's what I do. If 66 and 67 fail, it is likely to cause the closure of up to 6 prisons with the Department of Correction and the firing of 500 employees. Those prisoners will be immediately released into our communities. The second thing is public safety. The courts would likely take a 5 to 10% cut. At a 5% cut, they would close their doors one day a week and have to fire 200 employees. Another public safety issue is cuts that would be given to the Oregon Youth Authority, potentially the closure of the training school in Harney County, Burns, Oregon, again, and closure of the largest employer in Harney County. All of those people would be released. They would decline in terms of probation supervision, and public safety would be at risk.
What do you say to the critics of Measures 66 and 67 who say that businesses right now simply can't afford more tax increases because they're already under the gun because of the economy?
The tax increase for 97% of the businesses in Oregon and almost all small businesses will be $150. That's it. 97% of all Oregon businesses will pay that or less. It's only the highly profitable corporations, and which 85 or 90% of those are from out of state, who are taking Oregonians' money out of state and paying only $10 corporate minimum tax, which was a law passed in 1931. And that $10 corporate minimum tax for the millions of dollars of Oregonians' money that they are taking and demanding the services from Oregon, they're not paying for.
What are you hearing from people about this as you're talking to people, in grocery stores, on the street, whatever?
Well, there's a lot of misinformation being spread out and around. First of all, this tax does not impact couples who file as a couple unless their income is above $250,000. And the tax only increases on that amount of money above $250,000.
Now, Senator Chris Telfer.
Well, I think we run the risk of hurting this economy even more, putting another 70,000 plus people out of work. And, frankly, we don't need to do that. We don't have to cut education and public safety by raising taxes. We got enough money and cost-saving measures within state government. We don't need to raise taxes, and so therefore we don't need to cut. We can vote no and still not cut K through 12 or education or public services.
Okay, you say you have a better idea. You call it the Back to Basics budget. What's that all about?
Well, the Back to Basics budget is a listing of 11 areas where we can cut a total $733 million. There's still more we could cut or utilize, but it's cost savings. It's asking state workers in Oregon to pay towards their health insurance the same as a teacher does. We're the only state in the union where our state employees do not pay anything towards their health insurance. There's $130 million right there we could save. We have $3 billion in other funds. We're suggesting we use $133 million of that. We also have the rainy day and the stabilization fund. And, well, has anybody looked? It's pouring outside. Let's use those funds. There's $300 million right there. So there are ways we can balance this budget without having to cut schools or state troopers or take food stamps away from anybody. We can do this without taking $733 million out of the economy and costing another 70,000 jobs.
Glad you raised that point. The folks that are proposing that people vote yes on that are kind of painting this gloom and doom picture of all these services are going to be cut.
Well, I think it's terrible because, first of all, $733 million represents 5% of the general fund. This is not a drastic cut if it were to take place. The second thing is the legislature has not met yet to determine what, if any, cuts are going to be made. So these are all empty threats right now, but the legislature has not said anything about cutting schools or state troopers. That's what we're getting together in February for.
Measures 66 and 67. We will continue to follow this issue for you. I'm Dave Adams. Take 5 is a production of 1110 KBND Radio News. Depend on us.